Welcome, divine brother and sister, to the channel. My name is Lena, and I'm here to deliver you a divinely guided message that will most support you as you move forward on your journey, manifesting all of your goals and dreams with ease and grace. I hope that you've all been doing really well, Divine Fam. And to anyone who is new, welcome, welcome, Starseed brother and sister. Welcome, Chosen 144. Welcome to anyone who identifies or knows innately within themselves that they are here to serve the divine plan, to carry out the divine plan, and they are here on a higher mission. So today I'm bringing to you guys an Ascension update message. And this message is going to be very much in line with the full moon in Cancer. I'm also going to touch on the Mars and Gemini energy and really transmit a message to you that is going to serve you in regards to working with this energy at this time. I did take some time away from the channel, and it was much needed. For anyone who missed the readings or was missing me and my energy, welcome. I'm back and I'm happy to be here. We're going to do things a little differently. This is something that I want to bring forth to you. I feel called to deliver this message. So it's not going to be a zodiac tarot reading. It's really going to be a message that I'm free flowing with through my higher self, and I'm going to pull some cards here and there to guide me. But really, it's what I'm being called to do at this time. So happy full moon in Cancer, which just happened, and I hope that you're all doing really well. Happy Gregorian calendar New Year. I personally am looking forward for the astrological New Year. However, let's honor the time period that we are on here in this matrix and in this grid system that has been created for the collective. And that's really what I want to touch on at this time, right? My love, so if you're tuning in, you're someone who is on their ascension journey. You're someone who is focusing on liberating themselves from the darkness, shining the light on your own inner darkness, discovering and unearthing the darkness outside of self and transmuting it with love into the light, back to source, back to Gaia, doing that transmutational work, integrating, freeing yourself, and ultimately realigning with source, with self, and becoming that God goddess that you are and that you know you are. So speaking of God goddesses, this is what I want to say, and this is a message to anyone who resonates. Okay, there are people out here who are literally calling themselves gods and goddesses because they are coming into their inner knowledge and wisdom of who they truly are. And what I recently realized, okay, this last week, is that there are people who know a lot of stuff, right? There are people who know a lot of like esoteric wisdom, knowledge, occult teachings, who study into, are deep into certain things, like myself, right? And so I'm going to give you guys like a little example of something I went through recently. And it's like I met someone who I thought was like, wow, I thought this was like my new person, like someone who really gets it, who thinks like me, knows a lot of the same things. But the thing here with this masculine was that this masculine quickly revealed to me, well, not so quickly. It was actually kind of funny how it played out, right? And there is a point to this story. So revealed to me that they still have a lot of shadow work to do, that they are caught in their ego, they're caught in lower timelines, really. And why do I say that? Because part of awakening, you guys, part of ascending is obtaining the information and the knowledge of certain things that have been hidden, right? Things that have been kept secret from the collective, from the masses, or from those who are awakening, even though those of us who are truly beings of the higher realms and who are here to carry out mission, we have always known, right? And that's what leads us to asking questions, to being curious, to questioning reality and finding out deeper truths and deeper meaning, the meaning behind life, right? And it works out and plays out for all of us in different ways, through different experiences that are the catalyst on our journeys to propel us forward and discover, okay, these questions, okay. And so it just hit me that not everyone who is aware of their God power is of the light. And I didn't realize that until now, even though I've always known about the dark forces and dark leaders and entities and beings, right? A lot of us know about these things. But the thing is that just because someone is saying all the right things, you guys, just because someone outside externally maybe is vegan, plant based, beyond vegan, because that's a whole thing that's been tainted, right? And been hijacked by the darkness. It knows about maybe like alkaline lifestyle, living in oneness, high frequency food, raw life. Okay, let's say this is someone who knows about certain things in the powers, okay, that have control things anyway. So not to get too deep into that, but all of they could be saying all the right things, and then you come to find out that they're in their shadow. They're a demon, really. They have demonic possession over them. They are distorted, okay? And this is not to say that we're higher than them because we can see this, or we're better than them, right? This is just to say that these type of people we obviously must show them compassion, love, and light, right? That's what frees us and separates us from the karmic loop. Okay, that's what like removes us from it, is having that higher vantage point of love and unity consciousness. But when someone is going around thinking that they're even better than you, right? And that they know more, and they're someone who's not displaying divinity, listening compassionately, or allowing you to be yourself, and constantly wanting to push their ego identity onto you, whether it's someone who knows information, who is somewhat awakened or not, someone who has had deeper connection with source and is living in unity consciousness or not, right? It could be a zombie, it could be a hologram, like a filler, it could be whatever, guys. It could be a karmic. Okay. When we encounter these people, okay, they're there to mirror back to us our highest path and what we are meant to continue pushing towards and moving forward towards, right? And so this full moon in in Cancer, along with this Mercury retrograde that is happening at this time in Capricorn, is bringing out these shadows. So a lot of you might be experiencing like people testing you. You're seeing things for what they are. The light is being shined on these karmics, and a lot of new people might try to come in that seem like they're what you want in terms of your legacy, your foundation, right? Fourth house, 10th house axis. And might be mirroring to you certain things that you think, wow, this is great. But I would look closely at these people. If you're seeing the red flags, my beloved divine sisters and brothers, I don't want to say run, because it's not about running. You definitely want to make sure that you're leaving the situation on a higher note. You want to make sure that you're not running. You also want to kindly and gracefully address the person and let that shadow within them, that dark part of them, know like you see it and you acknowledge it. But you don't necessarily at this time want to create a deeper hole by running and shutting them out without giving them the opportunity to recognize their own shadow. And if they don't, I would say just keep it moving at this time, because you're on a higher path, right? The divine mother is out right now. The divine feminine is elevating even more, ascending even higher. What does this mean? This means that you are coming into deeper truths on your own journey with your own healing, right? Healing yourselves from the childhood trauma, from the faults of your mothers, okay? The things that your mothers maybe didn't do, or the mother figures in your life weren't providing, okay? It's like a lot of these things have been revealed to you already. You have seen them clearly, and chances are that the more retrogrades we have in Mercury, the more of these lunar cycles play out, things are going to continue to be revealed to you more and more. But the thing is, like, it's all been revealed to you. Like, for a lot of you, like, most of what you needed to know to get to this, what I'm saying is to get to this tipping point of you saying, okay, I'm done with this, I'm freeing myself. Because it's like, it's easy to say you're freeing yourself. It's another thing to actually come to terms with all of that. And I feel like this moon is doing that for everyone. This moon is definitely, especially anyone with Cancer placements. Okay, if you have Cancer placements, you are definitely feeling this on a deeper level, right? It could be gut wrenching. It could be really rough to face the reality of the people around you and realize that as a chosen, as a star seed, as a way shower or whatever, as the being of light, that a lot of those people that you love, okay, and that supposedly love you back, they are being hijacked. They are being used as vessels to attack you, right? The dark forces love to send energies their way to try to get to you because you're so aligned with your highest path, your power, your God, goddess, divinity, right? So be aware of that. Don't allow your power to be taken away, and don't fall into the try not to fall into the triggers at this time, because you're going to feel really tempted to want to correct people almost like in a maternal way out of love. It's like you might be feeling like, oh, I want to work on this relationship, or whether it's a friendship, romantic, whatever the case may be. You might be feeling like you want to, because you have this full moon in Cancer, this mothering energy, but then you have Mars in Gemini, which is like saying like, not so fast, before I go direct, before I move forward, there is some stuff that we need to hash out. Now, I think that's great and we should take advantage. And part of this message is saying, go for it. If you feel like there's something you need to get off your chest, definitely go for it at this time. Okay. But it's all about, how you're going about it. It's not a time to have expectations. Don't expect anything from the other people. Don't be let down when they don't show you any different. A lot of these people are incapable of reaching the heights and level of self-awareness and maturity that you are. And I know that a lot of us, because we do have big hearts and we love so deeply, we want to take all these people along with us. And a lot of us already know that we can't. But a lot of times, especially, we just had the holiday season, or let's say there was like some good times, good moments on a surface level or even a deeper level with people that we care about, there are going to be reminders that remind you, wow, like this is such an individual journey. I can only control myself. I can't control anyone else. But at the same time, you guys, right, when we love ourselves and when you're learning how to set those boundaries, you're no longer tolerating anything less than you deserve, right? There is a line between right and wrong. I mean, that's very dualistic, and I don't want to like perpetuate that thought process. But in reality, right, when we are dealing with third dimensional people, when we are dealing with the darkness, the darkness lives in that realm and plays by those constructs, right? It attacks us in that way. So when we do realize that there is a line that shouldn't be crossed, now we can really eradicate these behaviors in others from our lives. And really, it is about teaching people and showing them how to treat you, because most of these people are running on like algorithms themselves. They're running on autopilot. They're running on the past. Like, have you guys noticed how many people will try to keep you stuck in the past? Like family members, old lovers, relationships, karmics, they will keep you in a loop, right? They're going to like keep trying to project an old version of you into your present moment, because for a lot of these people who don't live in the now or don't have that higher God power, or like are in oneness with life and source, they base their every moment on the past and also the future that they're projecting, or some of them don't even live in the future. And that's something that a lot of you might be realizing, like, wow, like a lot of these people around me, it's not to like lessen anyone's value or validity, because it's all valid in the grand scheme of things, and everything is like an integral part of our own journeys, our own ascension journeys, because a lot of people are meant to serve as mirrors, right, for us. Okay, but and vice versa in many situations. But at this time, like a lot of you might be really seeing the toxicity within people, that you love. And it's time to let go. It's time to let go of wanting the love that you didn't get in other people, that you didn't receive from those that you felt you should have. Because the thing is, like, there's this whole idea of like, okay, there's constructs of like believing that a mother and a child should have a certain relationship, or a father and a child, or two people in relationship. There are certain like structures that have been in place in society as far as like dynamics. And I believe that a lot of them are valid. Like, for example, a mother should love unconditionally and should be there no matter what and support her child, like, and it's just like, as people, it's not even about mother. I feel like it's just as individuals, right? And so I really feel also called to say, like, if you have people in your life that are genuinely there for you, that you feel like you can count on wholeheartedly in some way, shape, or form, that they're genuinely happy for you, okay, as a star seed, as a chosen person, as a light being, someone who understands and comprehends your mission and who you are and sees your power and uplifts you, pours into you. Like, we've been so like dumbed down to, like, in terms of like self-esteem and self-worth in our, as the collective, to believe that we should not have people praising us, that that's egoic, or that that's the shadow. It's not the shadow. And that's like something that's coming out right now. It's like, you are healing, you are mothering yourself, and realizing that it's not just about being there financially or being there physically, right? True deep relationship, guys, needs to have more depth, more substance than that. And if people are only there for the rah rah, the party, the ha ha, the spending the money, and all the superficial things in life, that's not a real relationship. Like, is that real? Like, it's only serving like it's only real to a certain frequency, but like beyond that, what is there? Okay, what is there? And so this is a time where a lot of you are going to be very yeah, that unfulfillment is coming out, and you're not going to be quiet about it. But at the same time, like I was trying to get across before, is definitely try to like reel it in a little bit, because that Mars energy is like still wanting to just like, especially if you have a repressed Mars, okay, a repressed Mars. So like Mars in Virgo, you might be lashing out or be more prone to that, because you are like the officer of the zodiac, right? Like, you are like the police officer. Like, you see things for what they are. Like, when you think that you're right or you see a flaw, you want to call it out. But then Mars and Mercury is making anything that's repressed come out. So it's like, find a way to, and as well as anyone else who, like, I would say Mars and Scorpio, like Mars and Scorpio, this is a time where like shadow will be revealed, and like, are you going to take accountability or not, right? Things that you've kept in the dark. Mars and Pisces, same thing. Like, Mars and Pisces, it's going to be more emotional, it's going to be more spiritual, deeper, things that have been hidden, or things that you haven't been seeing clearly. So these conversations are going to come up. They're just going to come up, okay? Like, if they haven't already, but I feel like it's like they have, and now they're about to close out, okay? But we're all being asked to communicate with calm, and to not. Okay, I had it before and now I left. What was it? I was told, I heard my higher self and I say, saying that it's not about needing someone else to validate you. Okay, at this point, Starseeds, your psychic abilities are not, they're not wrong. They're not inaccurate. So all the gaslighting, all the people telling you that you're crazy, what are you talking about? That's not true. I don't treat you like that, or I treat you better, like, than that. You know what you know. So it's not about someone admitting anything at this point. I feel like a lot of you are moving past that. It's like, you're just like, but it's that question of, how do you navigate a relationship without caring or needing the other person to take accountability, needing the other person to do those things. And when you come to that point, I feel like that's a walking away point, guys. If you no longer care, you no longer care. And that's not a good thing for a relationship to continue. At that point, it's no longer a relationship. It's a connection. It's a situation, whether it's with a friend, a business partner, a parent, a lover, whatever it is. And this is what's being cleared out at this time. Okay. This is really truly what is coming to a close on your journey. Okay. Anything that is not of substance, that is, it's time to let go, right? Full moon in Cancer, it's time to let go. Cancer loves to hold on to everything. And it's not just letting go of people and expectations and the dreams and the ideas that you had about them and how you think that they need to be and show up in your life. It's about letting go of the past. Okay. So that's also playing out at this time. And, you know, yeah, I would just be mindful of that, because if you're expecting anything from anyone, okay, especially people who are not like you, people who are not on the same journey and path as you with ascension, okay, with spiritual upliftment, enlightenment, freeing themselves, doing the work, doing the shadow work, all of that, you're going to be let down again and again. So it's about detaching. And also, a lot of you are going to be feeling like you want to really focus on building your own foundation without that foundation from the past. A lot of these ancestral came before stuff, it's like a lot of those cycles are being broken. A lot of the karma is being broken. And part of that is creating your own foundation. A lot of you who are star seeds and who are chosen, you're going to be feeling like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I don't want to be a part of this tradition, or I don't want to be a part of this family dynamic, because it's not right, right? A lot of you feel like it's unjust, it's unfair, the politics are not cute. Like, you don't like how they operate and how they maneuver. And this is going to resonate with those of you who have never felt like you fit into your families, or you never felt like anyone truly understood or still understands you. Okay, this is not for everyone, what I'm saying. This is for like those of you who are resonating, right? It's like, it can feel very lonely for a lot of you, right? Because not just with family, just in the world in general, right? Feeling misunderstood. But the thing is, like, there are people just like you, there are people just like myself, and we're all here. And also, like, we're coming together at this time. And that's what's so beautiful, is that more and more we're all going to be connecting, and that unity consciousness and that oneness in the world of peace and all of that, it's coming in, you guys. Now I'm going into something else, but I have to say it. Okay, now let's like switch topics here. Okay, so someone needed to hear that. Okay, but what I want to say for all of you is, like, don't give up, right? Like, the new earth is here. It's already here. The dark forces can no longer, they're not in control of the story. They're not in control of your story. This is why they always try to attack you and attack the collective through the people that we love the most or are nearest and dearest to us, because they can no longer attack us, because we have awakened, we have freed ourselves. Like, I was telling someone like the other day, I'm like, how are you so awakened, and how are you so empowered, and how are you saying that you're all of this, that, and the third, all of this and a bag of chips, when you're still living in fear of the old reality? Because that's the thing. Like, okay, I want to put it like this, guys. So, like, a timeline where there's the lower timelines and the higher timelines. The lower timelines are leading to, like, let's just say they have a dystopian ending. The higher timelines have the new earth, 5D, unity consciousness, golden age ending. And let's say there is other timelines in between. How do you, if you're truly empowered, if you're truly awakened on your spiritual journey, like I was telling this person, like, spiritual awakening is not just about obtaining information and unearthing secrets. It's about connecting with source and remembering who you are as the creator, like with your thoughts, your energy, everything. And so, if you're still in fear, my love, I'm saying this because I also want to reach my hand out and grab you to support you, okay, to jump timelines. If you're in that timeline still, like, you know stuff, you have information, you know you're on your awakening journey, but if you're living in fear of anything, my love, you're not in alignment. So let's release that fear. Let's clear that fear out for you. Okay. Yeah, it's been cleared out because that cannot touch you. So let's talk about it. Okay. It's like a nightmare, right? You have a nightmare. Let's say me, for example, like when I was really young, okay, I had like a sleep demon, is what some people might call it or whatever, but for me, it wasn't that. It was just I was being attacked from a very young age as soon as I came into this planet, which is very, like a lot of indigos, a lot of starseeds have faced similar situations because the darkness tries to break you down at a young age, which only makes you stronger. So that's why we're always grateful for the darkness, right? Let's remember that gratitude is everything. Like we're not, if you're someone who's like angry at what's happening in the main stage on the mainstream news, if you're someone who's like pissed at all these fake leaders and all these puppets and actors and whatever clones, okay, then I invite you to remove yourself from that and remind yourself that none of that is real. And I know that sounds so like disconnected or whatever, but let's go to like that type of basic foundational way of thinking for escaping the matrix. Okay. Even like, and it's not to say that we're all going to escape and say, none of this is real, life isn't real. No, because there's a point where you escape and then there's a point where you integrate. And integrating is remembering, okay, this is real. This is real. I'm real. My everything is real, right? This is all happening. But you choose what's real and what's not. You choose what's happening and what's not on a higher level and in a very individualized level. And then there is that collective reality. But again, that's built off of everyone's individual consensus. Okay, so that's how we have been dismantling, is because the old timelines, the lower realms, the old matrix. Okay, because more and more people are waking up. The more people wake up, the collective reality shifts. But it starts with your own reality. So even if you have to go out there, you guys, even if you have to be woo about it, don't be ashamed. Some of you might be more logical, more analytical. Okay, you could be a Leo moon, you could be a Virgo moon, and you're like, what is she talking about? Like, that's not real. But if you have to see it to believe it, you're not awakened. if you have to, if you're unable to believe before it materializes, then you're not the magician. You're not in your power. That's what true belief is. That's what faith really is, guys. So let's remember that. And then we build off of that, right? Build off of that, okay? So basically back to the whole thing about individual timelines and how, all is well is really the message I'm trying to get across. Okay. Is that basically things can happen, but at this time we are being asked, and always, not always, to protect yourself. How do you protect yourself? By clearing out and transmuting anything that is not aligned with your highest timeline, with love, light, unity for everyone, for the collective, for the greatest good of all, right? So it's not that we're not looking at the darkness and the shadow, because we've already done that. And if you haven't done that, like maybe I can talk about that in a moment, right? Well, if you've already done that, you've already done that. So there's no point in me like having to kind of talk about that. But so let me say something for those of you who are like still struggling with that. So let's say you're just finding out about this person the other day who's like, I'm a god, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the best, I'm the shit, I'm God, I'm God. Like just found out about like fluoride, right? Or like, you know, very much still needing to do shadow work. Very much the ego is like, being enhanced. And with great knowledge and wisdom comes responsibility, comes humility, and comes unification. So someone who believes so high, like I just think like, and that to me is a big indication that someone needs to do the shadow. And what's happening is that a lot of these dark entities, which was the whole point of the message in the beginning. Oh my God, I'm a Gemini moon, you guys. So I'm like, ooh, okay. So like, but hopefully you can keep up with my whiplash. And I know that those of you who are meant to hear this will resonate. So or will kind of like get what I'm saying. But basically, like, it just hit me today. I was like, wow, like a lot of people who are also waking up, and I've been seeing it more and more like throughout the last 6 months. Like, just because you're something, or just because you identify as something, or just because you think you're this, or just because you think you're that, does not mean, or just because you know some information, does not mean that you're like truly of the light. Like, like it's just crazy. It's crazy out here. Like, I'm just like, wow, like now we even have to have discernment against our own community. And I know that's always been a thing, but it's like I'm seeing it materialize in my reality. And that could be just because I've been a hermit for so long on my spiritual journey. Like, well, it's not that I've been a hermit, I just haven't met anyone who kind of was like, I could say, wow, like this person really checks off all my boxes. Like, this person and I are so much alike. It was just like a reminder to me, like, of like, wow, like moving forward, you guys, because we are so close to that shift that we've all been waiting for years. Okay. And it's happening, right? The new earth is here, the new systems, the new structures are coming in, the new leadership is here, the integration of higher realms with our reality is coming in. Our brothers and sisters, galactic brothers and sisters, are here. They're all anchoring in because we're anchoring up, right? But as we do that, the dark forces want to keep like throwing little things, not just on our own individual journeys and sending like little spies and little agents and stuff, okay? But also just on the collective scale. So most of you probably don't watch the news. Like, if you're like, you don't, or if you do, you're not like falling for it, right? You're just the observer and you're detached. You have that detachment. And then others of you, you could be very plugged in to like what's going on behind the scenes, and let me know. Like, I would love to know, guys, like, where are you on your journey? I would love to know, because that's like a great way for us to connect and stuff. And I would love to do like back and forth, like sharing, collaborating, doing lives with some of you, sharing our knowledge, our wisdom, our opinions, and just really building and getting to know one another in terms of community and stuff, because it's so needed. Like, it's super beneficial at this time, and especially now, right? Because some people are out here living in fear. Like, some of our sisters and brothers, it's like they know stuff and they feel like they have to be in fear. And I know what that's like, kind of, because like early on, like I wanted to say things, I wanted to do things, and I still want to do things and share. And sometimes when you live in that fear and you're believing in like that timeline, it feels real. Like, you feel like you'll be silenced, or you'll be this or that. But the thing is, like, you can free yourself from those timelines, is kind of also what I was trying to say earlier, guys. Those are just timelines that are built off of belief. So like censorship is a timeline that's created off of belief. So it's kind of like going through levels in a game, right? Going through levels. So it's like you graduate from level 40 and you reach level 41, and all of a sudden the hologram is mirroring to you that social media is like censoring everyone, right? Okay, how do you move past that? How do you transmute that reality? How do you shift out of that into a higher one where now it's okay? And the thing is, like, I'm here to tell you, like, it's okay. Like, for 2023, like, this is the year to share the wisdom, to share your experience. Like, you don't have to be right about everything. It's not about being a genius, okay, about like, or an expert even. No one is. Like, I'm not, no one else is. It's about our own individual experiences, and you're never wrong about your individual experience. Even if there's something that you have to learn, or you may have misconstrued or something like that, at the time, like, it's still very valid. And I don't want you to ever feel like you have to like silence yourself, hide yourself. I feel like this time is not about the followers. It's not about the fame. It's not about the subscribers. It's not about that, guys. Like, it's about connecting. Okay. And I know a lot of you might be like, girl, it's always been like that. If you're someone who feels that way, then kudos to you. Congratulations. You reached that point on your journey sooner than, for example, I did, because I'm just coming to realize this. Like, we're all on different like points. And it's just amazing how it really does start with your mind. So how do you solidify your timeline? Because it's one thing to know something, to have like the idea of like, yeah, my thoughts create my reality. Oh yeah, I can think things into existence. Like it's one thing to know the information, but how do you apply it? How do you make this, like, cement this into your everyday life? It's all about consistency, practice, and just doing it every day. So do the work, you guys. Keep on doing what you're doing. I'm hearing that you guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. You guys are powerful. Keep on going. Don't worry. Like, all is well. Like, don't live in fear. That's like the biggest thing right now, is clearing out the fear for any of you who are still living in fear about anything, about the future, right? About the journey, the past, the collective. Don't listen to the stuff that's trying to suck you into lower timelines, right? Because that is all very real in its own world. Like, when you get to the place where you can acknowledge the darkness, speak about it, observe it, but not feel any energetic attack or affected by it, that's power. That's true power. So I invite you guys to work on that, okay? To meditate, to do your affirmations, to constantly affirm to yourself, to look in the mirror, to depend less on people or outside of you and those in your vicinity, and those tests and lessons and karmic people that are around us. And, to depend on yourself, on your own inner wisdom, to connect with source. No one else can tell you what you are. I can't tell you what you are. No one else can tell you what you are in terms of your connection, okay, to source. That's a very, very personal thing. And I feel like that's like as far as separation should ever reach, is like having our individual experiences. And then outside of that, it's like we're all one, right? Even with the zombies, even with the darkness, the misguided lost souls, and all of that stuff, right? If you're someone who's in anger, if you're someone who's wishing bad things towards like these people, beings, then there's still work, right? And when I say that, guys, I'm not like trying to sound like condescending or like, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. I'm just here to like support you, mirror, remind you, like, keep you accountable. Like, that's like me, right? That's me, and that's what I feel called to do, because it's easy for us to like sometimes get sucked into the day to day, or into the illusions, the matrix that still exists in on some level or another. Like, I was having this conversation, and this guy's like, he's like, what are you talking about? There's still like a monetary system, people still have to work, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, wow, like this guy doesn't get it. Like, that can all still be while you free yourself. Like, you can participate, but the difference between being in it is that you're not aware. But once you become aware and you know it, you essentially remove yourself. Now, how do you remove yourself further? By realizing that yes, it's still materialized, or the simulation is still occurring. Yeah, it's like, guys, it's like, oh my God, like, it's like, I wonder how many of you wake up every day and say, wow, the new earth is here. Like, I'm seeing it. And then how many of you wake up and say, oh my God, I wish it was here. And regardless of what you are, maybe you shift in between the two. I mean, honestly, if you're shifting between the two, that's great, because it means that you're like anchoring in. You're anchoring into that, like, I remember recently I said, oh my God, I wish the new earth was here, because they had a moment of weakness, because they had a moment where I kind of shifted down. And I called up one of my ascension soul sisters, and I said, oh, I wish it were here. But then again, the whole week before that, or the week after, I've been saying, oh my God, it's here, it's here. It's like, I know it. And that's okay, right? It's okay, as long as you can pick yourself back up and identify that that was just that, and that's not reality, that it was just a moment, right? Sometimes emotions, feelings, people, the external, the darkness tries to bring you down. But hopefully this message is bringing you up, and hopefully it's a reminder that all is well. You are on your highest path. Okay. All is well. I am on my highest timeline. I'm on my highest path. So say that with me. All is well. I'm on my highest path. I'm on my highest timeline because you are, divine sister and brother. And I love you so, so much. And although I much rather like have a teleprompter in front of me, um, I'm learning to like not care, you know. I'm just like, I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm gonna be of service. Okay, it is Mars and Gemini. I am a Gemini Mercury placement, and you know, like it is what it is, right? Like I'm not hurting anyone. I'm not attacking anyone. So anyone who feels that way, okay. But I just, yeah, it's funny. It's really funny to me because you can't please everyone. You really can't. And something that I am done doing is playing nice. So like when I get off of this, um, you know, like the two, let's just like put it like this, the two people that I love the most in this life. Okay. And I use that now because I'm like, what is, you know, I'm like so far beyond that. I'm like, okay, like, you know, like unity, love, light, self, you know, like source, you know, because that word love is can be, it's like it can be a trap sometimes, you know. It's like it's easy to get sucked into that. It's easy to like lose yourself in love. um it's and it's always harder to find yourself sometimes, you know. It can be, so for me it's like realizing that some of the people that I love the most are, I say are being used by the darkness, as to not paint them out to be like just darkness, you know, to like lost souls or whatever who have fallen and chosen a different timeline. You know, like I say that because, and because I have the true compassion like for everyone. You know, like I can really see the other side, which is something I'm grateful for about being a Gemini moon. I feel like I can see both sides, of people, of situations. Like I'm not one to like truly judge anyone for anything, even the most atrocious things, okay, that we discover on our journeys that have happened in the world, especially those who of you who like are familiar with like the Alliance, the White Hats, or anything like that. Any of you who are familiar with like CABAL, okay, things like that, okay, like because I've been like plugged in for so many years since I was really young, and since I was like 14, 13. So I think like for me, because I was still in my formative years and still developing, like having my development be already like awakened to the darkness, like it's not a shock. And so, and having experienced like so much darkness in dream state for years, none of it phases me anymore, which is great because that shows like your power and your strength. And it's not that and I don't allow it to make me go rogue or dark, which is also important, right? Because so many people will learn things and experience darkness and then become the darkness, which again, no judgment, but if you truly consider yourself to be of the light, serving the divine, carrying out the divine plan, like you're able to clear that out and like maintain yourself on that higher path in alignment with your highest math and your highest self. And it's a lot, you guys. Like, don't ever feel like you need to know everything. Don't ever feel like you don't know enough. Okay, that's another one, because people are out here trying to tear you down. People are going to be out here trying to tell you that you think you're a know-it-all or whatever, and it's not like that. You know, it's like we should all want to know as much as we can. And it shouldn't be from a place of ego. It should be from a place of liberation, from saving our souls, freeing ourselves and moving towards like truth or whatever that means, you know, like, well, yeah, no, but really though, because there are so many lies. That's the thing. There's so much misinformation, so much stuff that has been hidden from the collective, that it does become seeking truth. It does become a matter of that, you know, and so there's nothing wrong with saying that, but at the same time, It's like, yeah, it's not about like needing to know everything, right? And be right. And don't ever feel like in you knowing and sharing that, if you're wrong for that. Don't let anyone guilt you for shit. Okay. That's another thing that these dark beings love to do and misguided people love to do that want to suck you back into their timeline. Okay, family, friends, whatever. Like at the end of the day, this is an illusion, guys. We're all one on a higher level. So what does that mean? Oh, this is an illusion. It means that what happens when all these bodies are gone? What happens when we all die? Okay, on different levels, different things happen, right? Like if you believe in reincarnation, like that's happening on maybe a fourth dimensional level. If you believe in higher selves and soul clusters, soul fam, oversoul, okay, there's other things happening on those dimensions. Okay, so what I meant to say was, but in the grand scheme, on the higher level, in the higher realms, right, we are all one, and there is no identity really anymore. Like the higher you go. So with knowing that and having all that in mind, it's easy to detach, it's easy to let go, and it's easy to not fall into the reincarnation karmic loop cycle of lower frequency and energy of negative emotions and feelings, right? Like pain and sadness and oh my God, and feeling like, oh, like you need, because you don't. And so some of you will know what I'm referring to, but I don't want to talk about that whole like idea, okay, of keep like karmic loops and reincarnation. Like that's not what this is going to be about. So yeah, guys, it's all about liberating. And if you resonate with me, you resonate with this, please give the video a thumbs up. Welcome, welcome, soul fam, because really I don't care about blowing up. Like it's not about that. It's about like connecting and being of service to those of you who are like-minded on some level or in need of hearing these words, the things I just said. So let's just pull some cards really quick. I heard let's pull some cards. I want to just leave you with something quick, okay? By the way, guys, welcome, welcome. Okay, this video is coming out on Lena Divine, the channel. And if you're into tarot or you want readings, definitely check out Lena's Divine Tarot. This isn't really a tarot video, but I want to do a little reading. So, crystal for you, golden topaz. Okay, I step forward with joy and enthusiasm. I see my path shining brightly before me. It says visualize life purpose, helps amplify joy and bliss, improves the ability to speak up, cultivate ease, process all that is happening around and within. Golden topaz. That's amazing. I love this crystal. So definitely look into purchasing that. Okay, Source wants you to work with this, tap into the energy. It's going to ignite something within you. It's going to promote your power. It's going to bring out your power. It's going to activate your solar plexus, which is super important right now. To anchor in your golden frequency, right? My golden rays out there, all of you golden children, that's what we are, right? Okay, citrine, another beautiful solar plexus crystal. Okay, I'm wearing that right now. My new ring. I'm so happy and grateful for this ring. So happy and grateful. Okay, I really feel the shift to okay, I love citrine. I also bought a little necklace on my trip to Mexico, and like I felt activated by that. And it also, be careful where you buy your citrine, okay? Because you want to make sure it's real. I'm confident and courageous. It is safe for me to be powerful. Expand self-confidence and awareness of personal magnificence. Remember divine essence. Increase mental clarity. Exude joy, enthusiasm, and happiness. Shine your light. Beautiful. So there's really a big emphasis moving forward at this time for the new year to shine your light, to be in power, right? It's not a time to play it small anymore. It's time for you to step up. I feel like some of you are like me in the sense that you feel like you want to be of service, or there's stuff you want to say, or you want to kind of just be in the conversation, like be involved, right? Not even in the conversation, just like be involved, like do your soul's work and know that you're light and you are more than enough. Like don't worry about what people say, is what I'm hearing. Say to you, don't worry. Okay, it's not about being perfect for anyone. It's not about pleasing everyone. Like You will learn as you go. Pre-night, beautiful. Okay, another beautiful crystal. This is something I've been looking at online that I've been getting ready to purchase. Pre-night is so powerful. I went through one of the most powerful shifts when I bought my first pre-night crystals back when I was living in New York. And this is beautiful. From what I know about it, this is going to heal your heart chakra. This is great for new beginnings, new opportunity, abundance, prosperity, and any of you who are moving. This is going to be really beneficial for you, especially when it comes to finances, okay? It's just, again, some of you are like, if you're not into crystals, you're like, what is she talking about? Like these little rocks. The thing is, like, crystals have certain frequencies and energies, right? And they come from the earth. And so they promote this within our own energetic centers and our own energetic points. And again, it's like one of those things where it's like, because we believe in this, it like makes it all the more real. So it's a combination of both, in my opinion. But I truly love these things. It's almost like a little symbol and a reminder of my own power within. So it's not about using the crystal from a place of lack or less than or inferiority and feeling like you're giving the crystal the power. It's like working in oneness and using it as a reminder and remembering that you are the power, and so is Mother Gaia, and so is nature. Okay. So anyhow, it says, I accept the impermanence of all things. I know that change brings renewal and goodness. Yeah, there's a lot of change happening at this time. I feel like a lot of us are being realigned. We're being aligned with our highest path. We're being aligned this year with our soul's calling, our spiritual mission, gifts, talents, ideas, projects, whatever you want to call it. Okay. It's a 7 year. So it's time. It says integrate and accept change, align with the cycles of life, improve mental alertness, focus on the present moment. Okay. Divine brother and sisters. So it's very important that you remember that change is a good thing, right? So if there are things changing and shifting around you or within you, just embrace it. Embrace it, because this is like fertile. Fertile. Okay, let's do one more. I heard one more. Copper. Interesting. Okay, copper. I've actually had this in my subconscious. I remember it popping into my mind throughout the last month. But it says, I'm a conduit for goodness and prosperity. I receive inspiration and great wealth. It's going to support you in being a clear conduit for messages and inspiration, complete inventions, formulas, and creative work, amplifies courage and confidence. Beautiful. Yeah, your solar plexus is being activated through this reading, through this message. Okay, it's a time where you're going to be activating. So you're going to feel more confident, more powerful. And I'm glad that that's what is happening at this time, because that's really what my intention was. Like, I came on here feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to share, I have to communicate with them, because anyone who's feeling less than powerful, I want you to feel and know your worth, especially if you're being challenged by a mother figure, a father figure, right? Capricorn, Cancer, relationships, karmic people, toxic people, boss, employer, whatever the case may be. I wanted to pull away from the 3D and talk about the things that are more out there on a higher level to support you in pulling away. Because sometimes we can get caught up in the 3D thing, in the he said, she said, the what they did, blah, 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 and wanting to like clap back, right? It's a very clap back energy that's playing out right now. So it's not about clapping back. It's about ending a cycle, right? What's the difference? Like, how do we end a cycle? How do we end the abuse? How do we put an end to that ish without perpetuating a reaction, a loop, right? It's like responding. How are we going to respond? Really think it through. Like, don't feel like you have to do it now. I'm hearing you have a couple of days. Think it through before you address someone in your life, okay, or a situation. And if you feel like you want to do it now, go ahead. But just because I feel like I want to do it now. I'm ready. Mars. That's the thing, though. Mars right now is ready. It's like it's ready to go direct. It's wanting to go direct. Number 17, it's like I want to cut through the bullshit, and I'm ready for the rebirth. I'm ready to destroy shit, to burn it down, to shine light and truth on the darkness and expose it and rebuild. Okay, you're not afraid. A lot of you aren't feeling scared. Saturn, yeah, you're like, I'm done with this. Capricorn, you're like, I'm done with the bullshit. You're either gonna come correct, act right, or not. And like anyone who, but also it's like you're not needing them to. You're not needing them to because a lot of you know that these people are hijacked. You know that these people are not going to change. Like at least not with brute force. At least not while with you caring. It's one of those things like when you stop caring, maybe, but it's like you being okay either way. Yeah, Jupiter, there is abundance and expansion. Focus on your goals, your dreams, your prosperity, your finances. Like, don't get caught up in right now, okay, in the relationships, whether it's romantic or whatever. Like, this is a time, especially if they're not in alignment. Like, if you are in a relationship and you're happy, continue to water those, nurture one another, fill each other's cups. For anyone positive in your life, I want to just say, fill those cups. More than ever is a time to collaborate, to work together with these people. But for those of you who have other people in your life that, okay, don't allow them to distract you because again, the darkness wants to kind of steer you off your path. And the thing is, you have Jupiter with citrine, there's money coming in. There's like prosperity, abundance, success in your careers, achievements. Saturn with copper, I'm hearing you can use copper to, speak up more in the workplace, to have your voice be heard. Mars, okay, new beginning with the pre-night. So be ready for the shift. Something wants to change in your life. You're about to go through a big shift. Virgo energy, there's major healing here, number 6 with golden topaz. I feel like you're just coming into a new period. And it's funny because whenever you're watching this, it could have been a really rough time recently, like a day, yesterday, whatever, where you're feeling all this frustration because it's almost like you want to communicate certain things to people and like tell them off or set them straight or let them know that something's not right and that you have boundaries. But then at the same time, you're like, do I really want to waste my energy on these people? Do I really want to waste, like, yeah, my breath when I know that they're just probably not going to change? So it's one of those things where you have to pick and choose your battles. But the good thing here is that I don't see you being like sugarcoating or trying to please anyone, right? It's like you have to really think about yourself at this time because it's time. It's time where we are continuously ascending. Nothing is going to stop that. And the delays that want to play out like are just temporary, and don't feel bad about them. Like they're necessary, right? Because it's only bringing you into alignment more and more. And trust in the timing, okay, is what I'm hearing. Trust the timing. Everything's happening, it's like all is well. And don't worry about others that, sometimes when we love people too much, yeah, romance and connection, and we're too I heard attracted. Okay, so some of you might just really be attracted to someone, and it's hard to let go because you're so attracted. Okay, like if that's the case, that could just be very karmic and shadow, especially if there is no mental connection, no emotional fulfillment, and it's just constant games and toying. Okay, is what I heard. For some of you, that's a big I from a big signal or sign that that's like someone who maybe isn't really worth your energy at this time because you are leveling up more and more. I heard they had the chance to come with you on the journey. It's almost like too late. I heard too little, too late by JoJo. Like so, okay. Also, there is new love that wants to come in, right? Mars with pre-night. There's new love that wants to come in. There's renewal, there's goodness, but there's also a need to close out this chapter in your life. And that's what I see you doing. And for a lot of you, it's with some family situation, okay? A family situation for many of you as well. It's almost like when you heal the mother within yourself or the mother, you become that mother and you forgive your mother, but also like move the fuck, I'm sorry, like move on, move on and don't expect people to, it's like if it's your first time with someone dealing with someone, like give them that opportunity to like own up and all of that. But what I'm hearing is like for a lot of you, it's not the first time. Like you've been down this road too many times, and it's like your kindness and your good heart is what's not giving up on them. And it's not that you're giving up, it's just that you're done with the games, essentially. These people play games. But know that there is new love coming in and you deserve it. And part of how you're going to manifest this or call it in even faster is by closing doors, right? You can't be in between. You can't say that you want the love of your life and you're still stuck on something that isn't really serving. Like you can't say you want something that's healthy and beautiful if you're entertaining or focusing on someone who is not. Okay. Also, part of like standing up to these dark forces who are working through your loved ones is going to liberate you. And a lot of them are going to try to guilt you. They're going to guilt you. They're going to make you feel bad, like you're bad. Like, how dare you say these things to me? They're going to gaslight you. They're going to play victim. Okay. They're going to do what narcissists do best, or like, yeah, whatever. Okay. Be aware. You've learned already, right, Starseed, that it's all games. It's trickery. It's trickery. Okay. Raise your vibration. So important moving forward. Whenever you're watching this, to just keep doing that work. Okay. Meditate. Make time for you. Make time for you is really important. Okay. Protect your energy. Inner child healing. This is exactly what I was feeling that called me to come here and say this. Protect yourself. Like a lot of you have been attacked psychically or dealt with a lot of jealousy or envy from very young because of your being, because of your soul, spirit, your essence, your signature. Okay. And people, a lot of these fake little zombie people, they don't know. They don't know here. Their subconscious and their unconscious knows, but a lot of them can't identify and pinpoint. And even if they do, they probably block it and stuff it away somewhere in the back of their head because they can't admit it because of their ego and their pride. What it is about you that triggers them or makes them feel uncomfortable or jealous or envious. A lot of these people are really trapped and they're going to stay that way. Not everyone is meant to come along. Okay. A lot of you know this. Not everyone is meant to come along. And those of you who are like, oh my God, that's so sad. That's so dark. How could you say that? Ascension, everyone's coming and everyone's meant to go. Like, okay. And if you're someone who's like, can't handle the fact that there is darkness and there is light and that not all of the darkness is going to turn into light, like some of it needs to stay into like in the darkness, then you're still accepting, and that's okay. You're still accepting the process, and that is a-okay, because we're not meant to be hung up on that stuff, right, guys? Like, we have to allow, there's free will, okay? And it's not about, some of you like have these loved ones, right, that you're probably like really sad about the idea. That's okay. Like, listen, I've gone through that. We all go through that, where you have to grieve and mourn and prepare yourself and accept the idea. Because as anyone knows in manifestation, right, anything that you want, you have to be willing to let go of the idea of not having it and then having faith that it can. So what does that mean? I'm not saying forget about your loved ones. I'm not saying forget and lose hope and lose faith in people. But if you're so attached to the idea that they have to come along with you on the journey, you're just going to repel that. But the minute you say, I trust in God, I trust in source, in the universe, and know that the highest good for them and for myself is what's going to manifest and play out. Thank you so much. And so it is, right? Now you're really calling in what's meant to be from a place that's not of control or fear or, feel like you're going to lose this person, because you're detaching, and that's how we can really manifest, right? The things that we want, the outcomes that we want, and what's meant to be will be. But so really the message here that I'm getting at is that it's not that we're not loving our loved ones. I'm not saying stop loving them. I'm not saying stop fighting for them. No, it's not about not wanting to provide. It's not about not wanting to be there unconditionally. No, it's not about cutting people out of your life. No, like, it's not about that. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. It's about, okay, if you're deciding that you're going to keep these people in your life, like an example, like I am, right? Because I really don't feel like it's their fault. I really don't. That's me making excuses, but it is. It's true. I have compassion for these people. I love them, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to tolerate certain things, and neither should you. And it's just coming into a space of maturity, especially for me. Like, I'm in my late 20s, and a lot of people who are watching this, you might be older, you might have already gotten past this, where you know how to maneuver the unconscious people in your life, and those who will probably never truly wake up in this life to their full power and still like be with them in life and like, but not mix in with them, because that's the thing. It's like we can't get sucked into that. And the thing is, like, a lot of us are really breaking free, like breaking free on all levels. Like I feel like it's just what it is. I'm sorry, I'm not even gonna say that because that's now we're getting too deep, and I don't know. So victory and emotion. You're going to be having victory over your emotions. A lot of you are going to be tempering yourselves. You're going to be, yeah, strength. Okay, having strength over your emotions, not letting them get in the way, run the show. And that's really important as well. You're going to have victory here over a tough situation, some karmic cycle, Saturn, and you have the number 19, and you also have Scorpio twice. Number 4, emotion, Cancer energy, very in line. Aries energy. Yeah, from here till Aries season towards the new astrological year in March on 21st. From here till that season, there is some sort of success that's going to be playing out. So allow yourself to come out on top. The darkness will not take over. I want you to also know, for some of you, I heard that you need to hear this. Like, some of you guys, like, your loved ones will eventually integrate more or fully with you into the new earth. Because some of you are like the anchors in your bloodlines, in your families. You are the pillars. But again, like, remembering that sometimes your family members are being used to try to bring you off your path, and detaching and really protecting yourself, because that's the thing. Like, you have to put on your own gas mask first, right? So some of you are being reminded at this time that if you have to, if they're not going to like it. They might kick and shout, scream and shout, fight and whatever, because you're freeing yourself. You're coming into your power. You're not allowing them to hold you back. The thing is, like, they're always going to gravitate towards you. They just are. And the more you anchor in your ascension journey, those who are meant to also come will in their own way. And eventually the darkness won't be able to touch you guys, because we really are freeing ourselves. And it can't touch you. It may appear like it does. It can come near you, but it really can't touch you unless, it's like you're in control of yourself, of your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs. And that's really what's important at this time. And I see that with the strength and the victory that, you're coming out on top of that, and not allowing them to trigger you anymore, because that's how they're trying to get you off the path. And the thing is, like, you're the one who's like freeing yourself and freeing many. And we're all doing this for ourselves and the collective and everyone. So it's a lot. My head kind of hurts at this point, but thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the message. And if it resonated, let me know. And all the best to you.